Now we had the story of the woman with hemorrhages here, and this is actually one of my favorite miracles that Jesus performs. The reason that it stands out to me so much is the way Jesus handled the situation. So she had deep faith that Jesus had the power to heal her. After 12 years, in the other Gospels, it talks about how she spent all her money with all the doctors trying to take care of this, and nothing was working. She heard about Jesus, and she said that if I can just touch his garment, then I'm sure I can be healed. And that takes such faith to know that Jesus can do that. So she goes. She finds her opportunity. She grabs his garment, and then she is healed. And we don't have it in this gospel, but in the other gospels we see Jesus looks around and says, "Who touched me? Who touched my garment? I felt the power come from me to heal. Who did it?" Jesus knows. Jesus is God. And so it's interesting that he asks, who was it? And it's an invitation to encounter. And that's what I love about it. It gives her an opportunity to come out and say, it was me. And I just imagine, when I read this gospel, I imagine being in that woman's place to see Jesus look her in the eye, to encounter her. And I think that's important because it's not that, Jesus didn't just desire to heal her. If he didn't desire to heal her, she wouldn't have been healed, right? And it was her desire meeting his desire, and the miracle happened. But he doesn't just desire the healing, that physical healing of her. He wanted to meet her. He wanted to encounter her. And I think that's important for us to remember, because even as faithful, we tend to seek only those tangible things from Jesus. But we forget sometimes that relationship that Jesus desires to have with us, that he desired to have with this woman, right? Desired to encounter her in that moment. And I think we tend to forget that aspect of it, especially as Catholics, to fall into routine, to fall into the things we have to do, the ritualistic things, which are good and important. But we have to encounter Christ and have those moments of encounter with him. It's ultimately what he desires for us. The other thing that stands out about this is what he says to her is like, your faith had made thee whole. And when you put that into the story, what happened in the story, she's already healed. So what is being made whole? She's made whole in knowing Christ. She's had that encounter. And a lot of times we are missing that piece of it. Whatever may be happening in the world, in our lives, Christ makes us whole. So regardless of what's going on, we have everything we need when we have Jesus. And I think that's an important reminder for us. Also, a lot of times we hear in the gospel, Jesus always says, go and sin no more, right? And I think it's also part of what may be happening here, right? Jesus died for our sins, and it was also to give us freedom from the law, he says, right? The freedom to no longer need the law, the freedom from the desire to sin. And I think that Jesus is speaking more into that side of that here, because she, like I said, she's already been healed. So what does he mean by you've been made whole? And I think it has to be related to sin and related to the desire for relationship. Because could you imagine how difficult this woman's life is to be dealing with the hemorrhages, difficulty of having relationships with even other people if you're constantly dealing with this? There's a much deeper meaning to this whole than just the healing of her hemorrhages, because it no pun intended, bleeds into other aspects of life that is being changed, radically changed by Jesus here. And then the child that was dead and risen. When I hear the story, it does bring a deeper question of, do you believe enough? And that's what I'm kind of hearing in my heart when I pray over this. It's like, do you believe enough? Do you actually believe that Jesus could do that? I actually saw a tweet yesterday that somebody for prayer requests and said, pray for somebody who had died on their honeymoon. And their prayer request was so bold. They said, pray that they may be resurrected from the dead. Not just the resurrection that he may go to heaven. No, this person prayed that they may be risen from the dead. That, along this gospel, the timing, it is amazing, because it makes me think, do I have that deep of a faith to believe that Jesus could do that? And I think that's a good question to end on. Do we have that kind of faith? Do I have that kind of faith? I don't know. I hope I do. Anyways, I'll continue to pray on that and just think about that. But that's my reflection for today. If you enjoy this, as always, make sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and then hit the notification bell so you can be notified the next time these go live. They typically go live every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern here on this YouTube, as well as I just added this to my Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll get those there as well. Lastly, if you were blessed by this and you think that somebody else might be blessed by this as well, go ahead and share this video with them. It just really helps to grow the channel. And then lastly, thank you. Thank you for listening, and hope you have a wonderful and blessed Sunday. God bless.